Hey everybody, hope you guys doing alright. So we're going to take a look at hemp fibers. Hemp is one of the most valuable natural fibers, being known to humanity for millennia. Hemp fibers exhibit extraordinary properties, strength, durability, along with antibacterial and antifungal properties, as well as antimicrobial. The textile materials made traditionally of hemp fibers are very strong and durable, such as sales fabric or hemp denim, or hemp denim. While being breathable and flexible, the fibers can be used for ropes, twines, and cords, which exhibit both strength and resistance to rolling or deterioration, even in the seawater. The major disadvantages of hemp in comparison to cotton, a disadvantage shared with flax, is that the traditional processing of these fibers, although complex, multi-stage, and labor-consuming, results in a coarse, sturdy textile, while cotton can be much softer and more comfortable in garments. So another thing with the cotton, though, is it does take 20% more water to produce cotton than it does with hemp. I'm not sure about flaxseed, but one time we're having issues with water, or at least especially areas like Africa and other countries that are not nearly as abundant in resources as America, anything that can save water from, there's another way to make fiber or clothes than, as opposed to cotton, which takes more water. And it's a good thing for us to do for the greater good of everything, to utilize that other opportunity that doesn't require as much clean water. So, all right, let's move on. Being able to produce soft cotton-like textiles of hemp and flax is therefore the greatest challenge of the green textile trend. It is expected to allow manufacturing of fabrics with cotton-like quality and softness while being produced through organic cultivation, without the excessive use of pesticides and fertilizers necessary for cotton, and moreover in a wider range of climate conditions than those required for cotton, including colder climate regions such as in Canada. All right, let's move on. Hydrogen. Link has developed a unique technology for natural fiber processing using our proprietary I think I mispronounced that, catalytic advanced oxidation. The new technology, is based on a treatment involving catalytic reactions with hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. Hydrogen peroxide alone, although widely used in many bleaching and oxidative processes, is not capable of the efficient upgrading of bast fiber, which needs to involve thorough delignification and degumming. An example, elimination of lignins, pestitins, gums, and hemicellulose from the bast skin of the plant. Excuse me if I mispronounced anything. However, when combined with our proprietary catalyst, hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, becomes a very powerful oxidative agent for the processing of various biomaterials. Due to the formation of the superoxidant molecules, hydroxyl radicals, with this technology, raw hemp or flax bast material can be processed in cotton-like soft fibers, entirely surpassing the properties of traditionally processed coarse hemp or flax. The key point of the process is to remove all binding and filling materials around the fibers from the stems, lignins, hemicellulose, gums, and pectins. Excuse me if I mispronounced anything. While leaving only pure cellulose in its natural form of thin cellulosic fibers or fibrils. All right, cotton, which is currently the most widely used natural fiber, contains the highest amount of cellulose of botanical fibers, close to 90%. Cotton does not need to be degummed, but only cleaned because of its natural loose formation in the cotton pods or boils, which also host cotton seeds. These boils are ideal nesting sites for insects and pests, and therefore cotton cultivation requires heavy usage of toxic pesticides and insecticides. I had no idea. Wow, so that's another huge reason why we shouldn't continue to use cotton or perpetuate the production of cotton, is because you need so much pesticides and chemicals to kill off insects and all this type of stuff. Which, by the way, killing off all the insects, like, we look at it like they're just pests and stuff, but they're creatures, they're life forms. And if you're just killing them off just because you're trying to make more money from a crop that's not even really good for the whole planet or the environment, that in itself is perpetuating wickedness. So it's like little things like that we need to start examining as a collective, and realize that they do have an actual consequence spiritually, physically, and just overall on just the general feng shui of everything. So especially when there's good alternatives like hemp that require essentially no pesticides and are better for the environment in so many different ways, that require less water. I mean, the list goes on and on. So, and I mean, a sacrifice, sure, it might not be quite as soft as cotton, but if it's going to last longer and it's better for everything, that's where we need to make choices. Like, do we want to choose a comfortable life that's not really good for everything, or do we want to choose a life that's maybe not quite as quote unquote comfortable, but it's actually good for everything? So And again, there could be ways that you can make, hemp softer, and you don't have to use hemp on things like your bed and your blankets and stuff like that. You could just use it for like sails and ropes and, gear that needs to be tough, So it's like, anyway, let's just move on here. All right, so I like how they talk about cotton more, so it's not just all about hemp. They're also talking about the other product, which is the main product of today, which is cotton, which produces most of our clothes, and just the pros and cons of that. So I like how it's not just one-sided. I like to see all different sides of everything. All right, so let's move on here. It also needs large amounts of, these boils or the insects. So it also needs, large amounts of fertilizers and uses plenty of water. Yeah, it uses the water thing, 20% more water than hemp. These requirements unfortunately make cotton one of the most polluting agricultural crop. Okay, so I didn't know that either. Another reason why we need to stop doing it. The use of alternative natural fibers such as hemp, flax, jute, kenaf, I've never heard of kenaf, or rami, I need to look into those, represents a huge advantage towards cleaner and more resilient cultivation. Since these plants are much more self-reliant, they can thrive without heavy support of chemicals in a relatively poor soil and in a wider range of climatic conditions. However, while cotton fibers are made of almost pure cellulose and therefore are so uniquely soft and white in color, the bast fibers are incorporated in the structural parts of the plants. In the skin of the stem, therefore, extraction and cleaning of these fibers from the plant issue is much more difficult and involves many stages. Retting, which is the biological process of softening and removing the lineages of bacteria done by keeping the stems in the field of water ponds for weeks, followed by decortification, peeling the past skin from the core of the stem, with subsequent degumming performed most commonly for example, alkali boiling, an example, treating the fibers in harsh chemicals at high temperatures until the lineages in the gums are etched away. Traditionally, processed hemp still contains a significant amount of lignans and gums, and this is the reason why the currently available hemp and flax fibers are beige or creamy. I don't know what that word is. When bleached to achieve whiter shades, they later undergo yellowing when exposed to light, especially UV. Therefore, it is essential to apply effective degumming and delignification of the fibers to achieve cottonization and not just bleaching, whitening of the lineages. So, all right, I might make another video to continue on here, but yeah, so there's just some good information on, hemp as for fiber as opposed to cotton as a fiber. All right, love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.